They were more than acceptable in the 80s, they were extraordinary.
God damn it, man, the Doobie Brothers broke up.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 decade-defining actors of the 1980s.
Oh, Mrs. Crane, you're a little monkey woman, you know that? You're a little monkey woman. You're lean, and you're mean, and you're not too far between either, I bet, are you, huh?
For our series on the top 10 decade-defining male actors per period, we've made our choices based on a combination of their commercial success, their box office scores, their productivity, their awards, and how they helped set the tone and raise the standard in Hollywood for the era.
You know, you don't act like a scientist.
They're usually pretty stiff.
You're more like a game show host.
Number 10, Bill Murray.
Yeah, what do you think?
After making his mark on Saturday Night Live in the 70s, like his fellow comedy mainstay Chevy Chase, Bill Murray's film career really took off in the 80s.
Is this a trick question?
His portrayal of cult writer Hunter S. Thompson in Where the Buffalo Roam set his cool, classy tone.
Real heavyweight water buffalo type. Who could chew his way through a concrete wall and spit out the other side covered with lime and chalk and look good in doing it.
And parts in box office hits like Caddyshack and Tootsie cemented his reputation.
I like it when people come up to me the next day or a week later and they say, I saw your play. What happened?
What he'll really be remembered for, though, is Ghostbusters.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
As Dr. Peter Venkman, Murray wisecracked his way to greatness.
I'd call that a big yes.
He appeared in little else during the decade, but he'd made mark enough to achieve continued success.
It's no big deal.
Number 9, Dustin Hoffman.
Sally Dips Sally. 461-0192.
How did you know my phone number?
How'd you know that?
Said read the telephone book last night. Dips Sally. 461-0192.
Hoffman first caught our attention 2 decades before this one as a love-struck youngster in The Graduate.
Will you unzip my dress? I think I'll go to bed.
Oh, well, good night.
But for him, the 80s proved to be a high point among many high points in a glittering film career.
I'm an excellent driver.
Yeah, that's good. Come on.
He led while Bill Murray supported in Tootsie, and he earned an Oscar nomination for it.
Ron, my name is Dorothy. It's not Tootsie or Toots or Sweetie or Honey or Dow.
Oh, Christ.
No, just Dorothy. Now, Alan's always Alan, Tom is always Tom, and John's always John. I have a name, too. It's Dorothy, capital D-O-R-O-T-H-Y. Dorothy.
He was also part of Sidney Lumet's all-star cast in Family Business.
We are some family.
His most notable role, however, was as Raymond Babbitt in Rain Man.
Back to Roberts Day with my brother Charlie.
As Tom Cruise's autistic brother, he portrayed the condition with respect, loyalty, and sheer brilliance.
Mr. Fine.
Of course, that's 20,160 minutes, but 1,209,600 seconds.
Number 8, Bruce Willis.
Drop it, dickhead. It's the police.
Former private investigator Bruce Willis turned to acting in the 80s, and aren't we glad of it?
She had a good job, turned into a great career.
After winning an Emmy for his role in the TV show Moonlighting, he broke onto the big screen with some uncharacteristic roles in Blind Date and Sunset.
That's right. Can I give you a lift into town?
On your horse?
No. Tony Jr. ain't got no license plates. Afraid you have to ride into Duesenberg.
But then he performed an inspired change of direction when he played one-liner-wielding, reluctant hero John McClane. Die Hard set an all-new standard for action movies, and Willis was the modern archetype of an action hero. Yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
Hi.
Number 7, Michael Douglas.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works.
Action-adventure romantic comedy Romancing the Stone is what announced Michael Douglas into the 80s consciousness. Opposite Kathleen Turner, he proved himself as leading man material and provided director Robert Zemeckis with his first box office success.
Trustworthy.
However, it was in 1987 that he truly followed his father Kirk into Hollywood history.
Think you can handle that?
Fatal Attraction was the second highest grossing film of the year, and for his role as Gordon Gekko in Wall Street, he did what his dad couldn't do. He won the Academy Award for Best Actor.
Jesus Christ, if this guy owned a funeral parlor, no one would die. This turkey is totally brain dead.
Okay, all right, Christmas is over, and business is business. You keep on buying. Dilute the son of a bitch.
Number 6, Sylvester Stallone.
Drive. Don't look at me, look at the road. That's how accidents happen.
Sly Stallone introduced himself to the world in the 70s with Rocky.
It really don't matter if I lose this fight. It really don't matter if this guy opens my head either.
And the following decade, he cemented his reputation as the toughest of a group of tough guys that included the likes of Jean-Claude Van Damme and more. In the 80s, Stallone's role alongside Michael Caine in Escape to Victory proved his on-screen presence, if not his soccer ability. Rocky kept fighting, and a second movie franchise was born with 1982's First Blood.
Don't move. I don't want you to catch your own throat.
He'd taken his persona out of the boxing ring and into the war zone. The Italian Stallion quickly became Hollywood's heavy artillery.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You just don't turn it off! It wasn't my war! You asked me, I didn't ask you! And I did what I had to do to win, but somebody wouldn't let us win!
Number 5, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Come on, kill me, I'm here!
Way before he was a face of American politics, Schwarzenegger was Arnie, the heroic body of many an action movie.
You know that.
He first gained mainstream notice as a silver screen strongman in Conan the Barbarian.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Many were of the opinion that his acting ability was not as honed as his abdominal muscles.
Hey, I think this guy's a couple cans short of a six-pack.
You're close. Give them to me, now.
You asshole!
But Arnie fended off his critics by starring in one of the biggest movies of the decade, The Terminator.
You asshole.
He proved far from wooden as the cyborg assassin, even if his lines did amount to less than 100 words.
I'll be back.
Number 4, Harrison Ford.
He's good.
Missing out on our podium, but dominating 80s cinema, Harrison Ford is probably best remembered for his fantastic franchises.
Don't get all mushy on me. So long, princess.
As Han Solo, he first starred in Star Wars in 1977 and followed that up with The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi in the 80s.
Keep your distance, though, Chewie. But don't look like you're trying to keep your distance. I don't know. Fly casual.
Not content with only one multi-movie leading role, Ford starred in 3 blockbuster Steven Spielberg pictures as Indiana Jones that decade as well. Throw in lead roles in acclaimed movies like Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, and you see why Ford's at number 4.
Wake up. Time to die.
Number 3, Eddie Murphy.
Come on and experience some of my bullshit.
After finding fame as a cast member on TV's Saturday Night Live,
Hi, I'm Buckwheat. Remember me?
Eddie Murphy's transition into film was highly anticipated and expertly executed.
The hell kind of cop are you? You know what I am? I'm your worst nightmare, man. I'm a with a badge. That means I got permission to kick your ass whenever I feel like it.
His first feature-length, 48 Hours, was a hit. And when he paired up with fellow SNL alum Dan Aykroyd for Trading Places, his comedic credentials were mounting up.
Lionel!
from the African Education Conference, right?
Yes, Simon. I was director of cultural events at the Haile Selassie Pavilion.
I remember the pavilion. We had big fun there.
A role as tough-talking joke machine Axel Foley in Beverly Hills Cop also propelled him to humorous highs, and 2 further sequels, one of which fell in the 1980s.
Philip! It's time to jam. Hey, man, what's happening, Phil? I knew that was you. He told me it wasn't you, so you don't come here no more about that. It's Phil.
Number 2, Michael J. Fox.
Oh my God, I hit it!
He was famous in the 80s, but he was famous for the 50s. Michael J. Fox played one of the iconic characters of the decade when he stepped into Marty McFly's Nikes for Back to the Future.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
The sequels were equally successful and splendid. But the actor is more than a one mega trick pony.
Well, how do I look?
Middle-aged.
After his big break came on the small screen as Family Tie's young Republican Alex P. Keaton, Teen Wolf showed he was the baby face of the decade. And Casualties of War proved he was 5-star acting material.
We kidnapped a girl from a village, and the other 4 men raped her, and they murdered her.
Before we unveil our pick for decade-defining actor of the 1980s, here are a few honorable mentions.
Why did you kiss my ear? Why are you holding my hand? Where's your other hand? Between 2 pillows. Those aren't pillows.
He's gonna marry the first girl he lays, and she's gonna treat him like shit. Because she will have given him what he has built up in his mind as the end-all, be-all of human existence.
You believe this? Huh? It's about the size of a cigar. Do I stutter?
Drugs?
Thank you, no, I'm straight.
I meant, are you in here for drugs?
I don't think that you ever had any intention of telling him. Ever.
It's you and me. 2 hits. Me hitting you, you hitting the floor. Anytime you're ready, pal.
Number 1, Tom Cruise.
Just take those old records off the shelf. I said listen to them by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time rock and roll.
Risky Business is thought of as his breakthrough movie, and it ensured that working with Tom Cruise would be anything but risky from then on.
All right! All right!
A stellar name in cinema for over 3 decades now, the impact he had in his first 10 years was unrivaled. With Top Gun, he flew further up the acting ladder, and with Born on the 4th of July, he picked up his first major award, a Golden Globe for Best Actor.
We are here to say, we are here to tell the truth. They are killing our brothers in Vietnam. We want them to hear the truth tonight.
Setting the standard for a glittering career, Cruise controlled Hollywood in the 80s, and that's why he's our top pick.
Go fight! Go kill! Sergeant Man, rain car! Yes, car left! Car left! Car left! You know, it's all a lie, look. It's just a bunch of lies!
Do you agree with our list? Which 1980s actor do you think is the most iconic? For more classic top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.